Raggy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me in. It's great to be here.
Now, talk to me about the Recovery Film Festival.
Okay, well this year's the third Recovery Film Festival. We've been growing each year, and this year we're partnered by SACAP, and they've really helped us to spread that further. In fact, this year we've got a number of films that address mental health issues as well as addiction and alcoholism. So it's kind of taking the message about these stigmatised problems further and further afield, and hopefully widening the audience, getting more people in to understand and see what it's about.
Now, it's showing in two cities, Cape Town and Johannesburg.
That's right.
Tell us where.
Okay, so in Cape Town we're at the Labia Theatre from the 24th to the 27th of September, and in Johannesburg we're at the Bioscope, and I forget the address of the Bioscope, but
we'll put those details underneath this video. Yes. And how many films will be shown during this period, and what type of films can we expect to see?
Well, we've got a mixture of films. We've got shorts, we've got feature-length documentaries, we've got a feature film. Sadly, this year only one local film, a film called Normal, by a local director, Simon Kerr-Fox, which follows Dr. John Parker from Lenticure psychiatric facility, and follows how he works with people, and it's a fascinating film. The opening night film is particularly pertinent, I feel. It's called A Royal Hangover, and it's about the binge drinking culture in Britain, and it kind of really exposes how dramatic that drinking culture and acceptance of it is. The reason I think it's a really good film to be shown here is there's still a lot of kind of drug addicts are the problem kind of thing, and you may have seen the City of Cape Town's recent poster campaign.
The I have a drug problem.
I've got a drug problem, and it's you, and what we try and point out in the addiction part of the festival is that the number one drug of abuse is alcohol, and this film really shows that, and we're having a conversation after the film, trying to put that content into a South African context, and specifically into a Western Cape context, and start a debate about that, so that we don't just demonise addicts. In fact, we don't demonise addiction at all. It's an illness, it's a health problem. It's not a moral problem, And we hope some of the other films that we're showing, show that. There's a lovely film called Radio Man, which is about a guy in New York who wears a radio around his neck, all the time. He's a homeless guy, struggles with alcoholism, and he overcomes his alcoholism and remains homeless, but he's ended up appearing in about 100 different feature films, starting with Bonfire of the Vanities as an extra. And Robin Williams, George Clooney, Matt Damon, Johnny Depp are all in the film talking about this character and how they've experienced his change, We've got another film, Cocaine Unwrapped, okay? It's I think, a great documentary. The premise behind it is what the real cost of that actually is. You go for a night out and you pay, I don't know what you pay because I haven't bought any for a long time. But you go and you pay what you pay. And the social damage that gram of cocaine has caused from the place it starts all the way through to getting onto the streets is enormous. And this film kind of looks at that and kind of goes, here you go, this is the cost of this thing on a societal level as well as on a personal level, So,
to the viewer who's watching, who wants more information, who perhaps wants to have a look at the lineup or find out when these films are showing in their city, where can they go to get that information?
Well, we'd love them to go to www.southafricanrecoveryfilmfestival.com. I realise it's a bit of a mouthful, it fills up the whole nav bar, but so they can go there. They can go on Facebook, they can go to Cape Town Recovery on Facebook, and all the details are there. The Labia website has got all the programme up, as has the Bioscope programme. So it's around.
So there's no excuse not to have the right information.
No excuse not to have the right information. I just want to say the festival's really open. Obviously, we want people who are in recovery there to celebrate recovery. There's films also like Addict Symphony that you were talking with Mel about earlier, which are there to celebrate the idea of recovery. But we also really encourage people who maybe don't know about addiction and recovery to come to the festival. These are all great films. So, you know, it's open to everybody, not just people in recovery.
Dougie, thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you, Jerusha. Thanks.